welcome back to Astroways. Today let's continue our boring academic class on Bazi chart reading. Now that we've covered most parts of Bazi chart reading, at least for the charts that you generate online, now you can read the chart itself. You can read the interactions, you know all the supporting and opposing elements, different types of the charts and special charts. You learn about the 10 years luck pillars, you know what T phases are, you know how to calculate true solar time, you know about the hidden stems, you've learned all the interactions. Last episode we finished with the rest of the interactions, which are harm, destruction, and punishment. Now today, let's take a look at the full generated chart again and see what else we haven't talked about. What do we still not understand? Okay, here's the chart. Underneath the earthly branches, we have T phases, which we already talked about. We have yinyang. We have something called void branches. In Chinese, it's called 空王. And we have symbolic stars. Symbolic stars are the ones that most people panic about because they just sound freaking scary most of the time. You see words like bloody knife or star of blood, flying knife, backstabbing, punishment, crying star, funeral gate, robbing star, forlorn star, Death Star. Death Star. There was a client who said to me, I got a Death Star on my next luck pillar. Am I gonna die when I enter my next luck pillar? Can you tell me if I'll die comfortably or miserably? I can't tell you if you die comfortably or miserably. I can tell you you have certain potential weakness in your body that you need to watch out for. But that doesn't mean you die miserably if you pump yourself with loads of morphine and you die happily in your sweet dreams. That can happen. And I don't want to disappoint you, but I don't think you're going to die on your next luck pillar unless you really want to and you go kill yourself. Me reading your chart doesn't mean I can stop you from doing something. I know where this is all from, because you see a Death Star on your luck pillar. But if reading Bazi chart is that easy, you won't need me, right? Just go online, generate your chart, and read the symbolic stars for every year, and that's it. In fact, if you read your luck pillar year by year, you find at least 6 or 7 Death Stars before the age of 80. So you at least die 6 times before you actually feel like you're dying. Now, do you still think that Death Star is going to do anything to you? And if that still doesn't convince you, I have some real life cases here. Angelina Jolie, she had a Death Star on her 20-year-old luck pillar. Did she die in the 20s? Bill Gates had a Death Star on his 46-year-old luck pillar. Did he die in his 40s, 50s? Queen Elizabeth had a Death Star on her 45-year-old luck pillar. Did she die in her 40s, 50s? No. In fact, if you read her symbolic stars, most of them sound terrible. In her early age, she had red clouds, funeral gate, then flying knife, bloody knife, forlorn star, sword star, monetary losses. Monetary losses? She was richer than 99% of the people in the world. There's absolutely no data shows that symbolic stars have any significant effects on Bazi chart reading. If you watched my previous episode regarding harm, destruction, and punishment, I said they don't make any sense. Don't focus on those interactions. Now the symbolic stars even make less sense than those harm, destruction, and punishment. If harm, destruction, and punishment compared to mergers, clashes, are mosquito bites compared to car crash, then symbolic stars are like dust in the air. They may have some level of influence when it comes to date picking, like picking a date to get married, move house, funeral, give birth, etc. It has some level of value there depending on the events and how you want it. This is a whole different topic itself, and let's not talk about it today. But it's absolutely useless if you want to rely on reading symbolic stars to find out what your life may be. The reason is every symbolic star is a calculation. Death star, for example, mainly based on the date or the year pillar. Whenever you see monkey, rat, or dragon comes across pig, or when tiger, horse, or dog comes across snake, or when snake, rooster, or ox comes across monkey, or when pig, rabbit, or goat come across tiger. When you see one of them, you see a death star. If your day branch is monkey, whenever you see a pig year or pig luck pillar, you see a death star. Just like this. Each symbolic star is based on one single combination. If you have A, when you see B, you have the symbolic star. Symbolic stars are like names for the combinations. It's like Swiss style chicken is the name of a dish. You shouldn't associate this name with positivity or negativity. It won't look at the whole picture of your charts. It won't consider, according to my 8 elements, pig is really bad for me, therefore pig is my death star. No. It doesn't look at the whole picture like that. It's just a name, like sweet sour chicken. If you like it, it's your favorite. That's it. So don't overthink it. So that's the symbolic stars. What about others? What about yinyang? Is it useful? Yinyang in Chinese means the sound. Yinyang is also names for different pillars. Every pillar on your chart is one heavenly stem and one earthly branch combined together, and each combination has a name for it, just like Swiss style chicken. But instead of looking at other pillars like the symbolic stars, yinyang only looks at its own pillar. So again, in Bazi, we don't just look at one pillar. It doesn't matter if you have some pillars sound amazing or not, we have to look at the pillars together. And for void branch sometimes can be categorized as one of the symbolic stars. A lot of chart generators make it out as a separate category because it's more widely known than other symbolic stars. The reason why it's called void, because there are 10 heavenly stems and 12 earthly branches. And if we match one another, there's always 2 earthly branches left over. And the leftover ones are called void branches. Again, it's a type of combination. You can treat it as like a symbolic star. It's not useful for live chart reading. Symbolic stars, yinyang and void branches are essentially the same thing. There are names for different combinations, and they all come with songs and poetries and stories from the past. If you can read Chinese and if you're super interested in them, you can Google the songs and memorize them for fun, as they do have certain level of importance in other readings like feng shui and qi men dun jia. But if you can't read Chinese, there's no point for you to get into that, as they don't really contribute much to Bazi chart reading. And other things that sometimes can be generated together with Bazi charts, like conception palace. Sometimes it's got house of conception. And life palace. Conception palace is usually not relevant because the calculation of it is to look at your birth chart and calculate it backwards to the moment of conception. And this is not usually accurate because most of us weren't born on the exact due date and time. neither conception palace nor life palace is useful in Bazi chart reading. Although if you're studying 紫微斗数, which is Chinese astrology charts, there's also a life palace there with a different calculation. That one in 紫微斗数 is useful. This one in Bazi chart reading is not. Other than that, sometimes you also see something called bone weight. It has nothing to do with the actual weight of your bones. It's just a concept based on the calculation of your chart converting to numbers. Again, there's a song for it, and it doesn't mean anything. You weighing more doesn't mean you're bigger or healthier or luckier. You weighing less doesn't mean your life goes to shit. It's not even related if your chart is strong or weak. Anyway, I hope I've made your life easier by eliminating these nonsense elements that might distract you from learning the real stuff in Bazi chart reading. And I hope from now on, you won't be intimidated by Google when you try to understand crazy stars in your chart. Remember, metaphysics is based on logic and data analysis, not some songs and poetries written by some ancient masters who got bored and drunk too much, okay? Okay guys, that's all for today. If you want to have your chart reading with me, you can email me at astroways.info@gmail.com or find me on Facebook at Astroways. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to know more about metaphysics, please subscribe my channel and I'll keep you updated.